got a camera. No. You're lucky. I have a camera. I have a thing like that. My parents won't let me use it. I don't get that. My parents let me use it. The triangle! What? The triangle!
I stay on that side of the table. I'm going to show you some things over here.
What is it?
I know she has a label on it. That is it's the little onion and the dahlia. Yes.
That's all going.
I think I would like to live here.
Ow!
Those are chive blossom vinegar. That's what our cooks are making, some chive blossom vinegar. All right, here we are in the kitchen. Does this look like your kitchen? And what looks different about this kitchen?
For their century, it would be.
I'm sorry?
For their century.
It was their kitchen. It was their kitchen in 1700, but what's different about it from our kitchen? What looks different?
It doesn't have like an oven and like...
Wait, stop right there. Guys, I want you to move back that way because I don't want to bump into you or anything else. Here's our oven right here.
Cool.
So we do have an oven. We've got this big brick oven over here, and you're over there, you couldn't see this. But we got this big brick oven, and we're going to build a fire, and when we want to use the oven, we're going to bake about, in 1700, they were baking, here at Pennsylvania Manor, baking about once a week. And when they did bake, they baked a lot of loaves of bread at a time. They would build a fire there in the morning on baking day. They would close this door, and they'd wait about 3 hours for the fire to heat up this whole brick oven. They would open the door. They'd have to know that the fire was hot enough. It had to be about 400 degrees. But they didn't have a little beeper or anything like that, any temperature gauge to tell them that it was 400 degrees. So one of the ways they'd figure that out is maybe the cook would raise her blouse, and she'd go like that. And if the hair on her arm singed, that meant it was probably around 400 degrees. So, and if it didn't, then she might have to put another log on the fire and heat it up a little bit more. So once they got it heated to the temperature they wanted, they would take one of these big metal rakes. You guys see this on the end? The big metal rake, and they would rake all of the ashes out of there, or the hot coals, and they'd push them over there to where they have a fire already going over there with all those other pots. And then they would take their bread that they've already made to mix the bread loaves, and they'd put them in there in the oven with one of these big paddles, close that door, wait an hour and 15 minutes, they'd pull their bread out. And then the oven is still hot. It's not 400 degrees anymore, but it's still hot. And they were very efficient, as I said. And so they would then bake things that didn't require so much heat, like cookies or pies or other kinds of pastries that they were going to bake. They would pull those out and put those off to cool. And then the oven is still a little bit hot. So then they'd take maybe slices of fruit and dry the fruit and make other things that didn't require so much heat. So once they built that fire every week in this oven, they would use that heat until it was completely gone. Okay, so we do have an oven.